Number 12. The deadly muskox attack. In December 2022, an Alaskan state trooper lost his life due to a muskox attack outside his home. It happened near Nome, Alaska, late in the afternoon. 36-year-old Curtis Warland had been trying to shoo away a herd of musk oxen from his dog kennel when one of the wild animals attacked him, leading to his death. Warland, who had been a court service officer for 13 years, lived just outside the city along the Nome-Tiller Highway with his wife and kept a sled dog team at their property. The troopers who got to the scene confirmed that he had passed away on the spot. The exact number of musk oxen in the group that Warland was trying to keep away was not disclosed. Musk oxen are robust, long-haired creatures with slight shoulder humps and horns, weighing up to 800 pounds. Lately, there had been an increased presence of musk oxen near the city limits, primarily from late spring to fall. While they have been known to attack dogs in Nome, this is the first time a human was killed in such an incident. Warland had been serving as a CSO at the Nome Alaskan State Trooper Post since December 2009, marking the beginning of his career. The troopers expressed their grief and paid tribute to him on Facebook, acknowledging his dedicated service to the people of Alaska. Number 11. The Crocodile Murderer. In April 2023, in Queensland, Australia, the decapitated bodies of 2 crocodiles were found. An investigation is still ongoing to uncover the possible identity of a serial croc killer. The owner of Solar Whisper Daintree River Crocodile and Wildlife Cruises, David White, received a phone call from an anonymous man who took credit for the gruesome act. The man not only admitted to killing a crocodile named Lizzie, but also boasted about having fed one of the crocs to his dogs. Even more shocking, he claimed responsibility for another crocodile's killing in nearby Cow Bay, which was also found without its head. For White, the loss of Lizzie, a beloved and charismatic crocodile he met almost daily during his cruises, was heart-wrenching. In various emotional Facebook posts, he mourned the passing of Lizzie and shared his suspicions that her death was not natural. He found her remains in an unusual state, with only her head and spine left intact. Adding to the mystery, the anonymous caller provided precise details about the location of Lizzie's body and how he filleted her, which aligned with the evidence White had found. The situation has garnered significant media attention, with White urging anyone with information to come forward to assist in the investigation. Authorities are now actively looking into the matter and are exploring potential links between the 2 crocodile deaths. They are concerned that the crocodiles might have been targeted and killed. While some have questioned whether the same person was responsible for both killings due to the difference in how the bodies were found, others remain deeply disturbed by the cruel nature of these incidents. It's essential to recognize that saltwater crocodiles are protected under the Nature Conservation Act 1992 in Queensland. Harming or killing these creatures can result in severe penalties, with a maximum fine of $32,243 Australian dollars. The authorities are working day and night to catch the mystery man. Number 10. Gator Chaos. In May 2023, a 23-year-old man had a terrifying encounter with a 10-foot alligator when he accidentally fell into a pond outside a bar in Florida. Jordan Rivera, who was behind Banditos Bar in Port Charlotte during the early hours of the day, went outside to relieve himself due to the long restroom line, but he barely remembers what happened next. Patrons at the bar heard him screaming for help and rushed to his aid. They managed to pull him out of the water and applied a makeshift bandage to his severed right arm. Jordan was taken to the hospital in Fort Myers, where doctors had to amputate his arm. Despite the traumatic incident, Jordan remained surprisingly positive, saying that he did not lose his life, only his arm, which he is thankful for. According to Jordan, he was headed toward the pond when something caused him to either trip or fall into the water. The last thing he remembers is being in the water. When he regained consciousness, he found himself in the hospital, having lost his arm. Witnesses described how Jordan was yelling and swimming toward the shoreline, and they rushed to rescue him. Fortunately, they managed to get him out of the water, as one witness, Manny Hidaglo, mentioned how lucky Jordan was to survive. This is not the first alligator attack in Florida, and the state authorities have previously dealt with similar situations. Alligators are becoming more visible and active during spring and summer, leading to increased warnings about the dangers they pose. Florida is home to approximately 1.3 million alligators, distributed across the 67 counties, residing in both fresh and saltwater bodies. While there have been incidents of alligator attacks in the state, the number remains relatively low compared to the total alligator population. Following the incident with Jordan, an alligator trapper was called to remove the 10.5-foot alligator from the property, and it was subsequently euthanized. Number 9. Vicious dog attack. On May 2nd, 2023, around 5 p.m., a 7-year-old boy named Paul Ciardini suffered a horrifying dog attack while playing in the garden of the Crow's Nest Inn in Swanage, Dorset. The incident occurred when he was walking towards the children's play area when a large dog, possibly a German wire-haired pointer, attacked him, causing a deep 2-inch wound on top of his head. Paul's mother, Victoria Matusiak, picked him up and rushed him inside while waiting for an ambulance. He was then airlifted to the hospital, where he had to undergo surgery to treat the severe head wound. A couple, believed to be the dog's owners, ignored calls from customers to stay at the scene and promptly left with the pet. Paul's mother is devastated that they have not come forward to take responsibility for the incident and provide essential information about the dog, such as its breed and vaccination status, to assist with medical treatment. As a result of the attack, Paul not only suffered a deep head wound, but also sustained bruising and bite marks on his back and side. He had to spend 2 nights in the hospital for treatment and recovery. The family is now concerned about the safety of other children, as they believe the dog was not restrained properly when the attack occurred. The police have issued a photo of the man and woman with their dog after the attack, appealing for information to identify and locate the couple. Police Constable Alistair James of Purbeck Police has urged any witnesses to come forward and asked the man and woman pictured to do the right thing and provide their account of the incident. Dorset police are actively investigating the case, and they hope to find the owners of the dog responsible for the attack. Number 8. The vicious pack of wild dogs. In August 2022, an incident occurred in Greece near Athens, where 3 British children and their Greek minder faced a vicious attack by a pack of wild dogs while holidaying on a dormant volcano called Susaki. 9-year-old Danny Kapatanios, his father, 52-year-old Stamatis, and their 11-year-old cousin Roxy were bitten by the wild Rhodesian ridgebacks during the attack. Another 9-year-old named Teddy was also surrounded by the terrifying dogs, but managed to escape unharmed. Stamatis, who works as a software developer, faced the pack of barking bloodthirsty dogs as they approached the group on a public footpath. The dogs had a clear bloodlust and wasted no time in getting close to them. Stamatis tried to protect the children, armed only with a backpack containing water bottles. He used the backpack to fend off the dogs until they bit his arm forcefully, causing it to be thrown out of his grasp. The dogs then knocked him to the ground and continued biting. Fearing for his life, Stamatis thought he might not survive the attack. But when he saw the children a short distance behind him, he found the strength to fight back. He managed to chase down the pack, scaring them away, and led the children back to their car at the base of the mountain. With no use in his left arm and having lost his phone in the attack, Stamatis had to drive for about 20 to 25 minutes to reach the nearest hospital. At the hospital, the children received vaccinations, while Stamatis had to undergo a grueling 2.5-hour surgery with a significant amount of blood loss from the attack. He received 50 stitches during his 6-day hospital stay. The presence of these dangerous dogs had been reported to the police in November 2021, yet no action was taken by the local authorities to remove or destroy them. Filing a lawsuit against all parties responsible for the incident, the family believes that local government and the mayor are likely at fault and wait the outcome of the police investigation. Number 7. The rabid fox. On July 25, 2022, at around 2:30 p.m. in Ithaca, New York, an incident was captured on surveillance footage in which a woman faced a terrifying encounter with a rabid fox in her own yard. The woman is the cousin of CBS 21 News meteorologist Ed Russo, and fortunately, she survived the encounter, but the video of the incident was shocking. The footage shows the woman stepping outside her house to talk on her phone when the fox sneaks up behind her and bites her leg. In a desperate attempt to free herself, she lifts her feet and circles around to shake off the animal. She even tries to pick up the rabid fox and slams it on the ground. However, the fox continues to attack and jumps on her again. Undeterred, the woman kicks the fox and tries to throw it away, but it appears to bite her hand, causing her to scream. She eventually manages to throw the fox off her, but the determined animal continues its assault. A man armed with a stick intervenes to protect the woman, and she kicks the fox one last time before it finally retreats. Unfortunately, the fox went on to attack another person in the area and was later killed. Tests at Cornell University confirmed that the fox had rabies. The woman, though courageous, suffered large bites and scratches on her hands and legs as a result of the attack. She expressed remorse for having to fight back against the beautiful animal, but felt she had no other choice. Thankfully, her neighbor's timely arrival provided help. Rabies is a dangerous viral infection that affects the central nervous system and can be fatal in both animals and humans. The virus is usually transmitted through bites from infected animals, and symptoms can include insomnia, anxiety, confusion, paralysis, hallucinations, difficulty swallowing, and fear of water. If not treated properly, death can occur within weeks of symptoms appearing. But rabies can be prevented with a series of 5 shots administered within 2 weeks of exposure, which is how the woman survived the attack. Number 6. The deadly bear's uncertain fate. In April 2023, authorities in Italy finally captured a killer bear known as JJ4 or Gaia, who was responsible for a deadly attack on a trail runner, Andrea Puppy, and had also attacked a father and son in the past. The bear was caught in a specially constructed trap and identified through DNA evidence found at the scene of Andrea's death. After the fatal encounter with the bear, authorities in Trento province ordered the capture and killing of JJ4, but a regional court granted a stay of execution until further evidence could be provided. Despite the court's decision, Trento province resident Maurizio Fugatti remains adamant that they will proceed with the bear's extermination. The capture of JJ4 was challenging because of her aggressive behavior, likely caused by her protective instinct as she had 3 cubs at the time. The 2-year-old cubs, weighing around 35 to 40 kilograms each, were caught alongside the mother bear. The capture took place in a wooded area on Mount Pella, where JJ4 had destroyed several cameras set up to track her movements. The captured bear is now being kept at a special sanctuary in Castella near Trento. However, the wildlife campaign group LAV has requested custody of JJ4, aiming to take care of her instead of having her put down. Even Andrea's family opposed the idea of culling the bear, stating that he loved wildlife and that killing the bear would not bring him back. While the bear remains in captivity, discussions continue about her fate, with different opinions on how to handle this unusual situation. Do you think that the bear should be put down? Let us know in the comments and hit subscribe while you're at it. Number 5. The Snake Hitchhiker. On April 3rd, 2023, a South African pilot had to make an emergency landing when he found a deadly snake aboard his aircraft. Rudolf Erasmus, the pilot, was flying 4 passengers on a private flight from Worcester, South Africa to Mbombela when the event unfolded. At an altitude of 11,000 feet, Erasmus suddenly felt something cold against his hip. To his shock, he realized that a venomous Cape cobra had infiltrated the cockpit. The cobra, known for its aggressive nature and lethal venom, was a dangerous hitchhiker on their journey. At first, Erasmus thought the sensation might be water leaking from his bottle, but when he saw the cobra retracting its head under the seat, he knew it was a life-threatening situation. Struggling to understand the situation, he decided not to announce the presence of the snake to the passengers right away to avoid panic. Finally, Erasmus informed the passengers about the cobra and made an emergency landing at the nearest airport in Welkom. Despite the tense moment, everyone remained calm during the landing. After disembarking the passengers, the pilot tried to find the snake. However, the elusive reptile managed to hide, and even the engineers who later examined the plane could not find it. The origin of the snake remains unclear, but some employees at Worcester Flying Club, where the flight originated, mentioned seeing a reptile near the aircraft earlier. Unfortunately, their efforts to remove it before the flight were unsuccessful. Despite the snake being on the loose, the aviation community applauded Erasmus for his composure and handling of the situation during the nerve-wracking incident. Number 4. An unexpected shark attack. On July 19, 2015, a man was viciously attacked by a shark. Nearly 4 years after his terrifying encounter with a shark, Mick Fanning, the former professional surfer, opened up about the events of that day and the media frenzy that followed. During the J-Bay Open in South Africa, he was competing in the final against his close friend Julian Wilson. The stakes were high, with the winner taking the lead in the world title race. Only 4 minutes into the final, everything changed drastically. A great white shark appeared out of nowhere, and panic set in. Fanning fought desperately, punching and kicking at the shark to escape its grasp. The whole world watching the live broadcast held their breath, fearing the worst. Swimming away in fear, he was quickly rescued by jet skis that rushed to his aid. Julian, who paddled towards Mick and the shark, also played a crucial role in his rescue. Fanning expressed deep gratitude for Julian's bravery and support during the aftermath of the incident, especially when facing the overwhelming media attention back in Australia. At first, the shock of the encounter overshadowed the seriousness of the situation, and Fanning found himself joking and laughing about it on the water safety boat. But when he witnessed the reaction of those around him, the gravity of the situation hit him. He realized just how lucky he was to have survived the harrowing incident. Speaking to his emotional mother made him realize how close he came to losing his life. Although Mick and Julian don't frequently discuss the incident, they have both moved on from it. The final was cancelled after the shark encounter, and Fanning hopes to have an exhibition clash with Julian someday to complete the unfinished heat. Despite the traumatic experience, it took less than a week for Fanning to feel the urge to return to the ocean. He did not want to make it a mental hurdle and pushed himself back into the water sooner rather than later. While he felt more cautious than before, he eventually regained his comfort in the waves. Instead of advocating for culling sharks, he respects their territory and coexists with them, aware of the dangers by choosing to enjoy the ocean nevertheless. Number 3. A fatal bear attack. In June 2023, in Groom Creek, Yavapai County, Arizona, a 66-year-old man named Stephen Jackson fell victim to an unprovoked black bear attack. He was peacefully enjoying his morning coffee in a wooded area where he was constructing a cabin when the bear suddenly attacked him. During the encounter, a struggle ensued, and the bear dragged Jackson around 75 feet down an embankment while he cried out for help. Concerned neighbors rushed to the scene, trying various tactics to stop the attack, such as honking horns, but their efforts were unsuccessful. One of the neighbors quickly arrived with a rifle and shot the bear while trying to save Jackson, but he had already lost his life. The sheriff's office received the distressing call around 7:50 a.m. and promptly arrived at the scene along with animal control officers. At first, investigators could not find any obvious reasons that might have provoked the bear, like food or a cooking site. According to Darren Tucker, a field supervisor from the Arizona Game and Fish Department, the bear involved in the attack is estimated to be between 6 to 10 years old. The investigation into the incident is ongoing, and a necropsy will be conducted on the bear to gain more insight. Tucker emphasized that bear sightings in the Prescott area are not uncommon, but bear attacks are rare. The last fatal bear attack in the state occurred in 2011. Even though Arizona has a healthy black bear population, Jackson was just an unlucky victim at the wrong place at the wrong time. Number 2. The meat grinder tiger shark. In June 2023, an incident unfolded at an Egyptian resort in Hurghada, where a Russian father, Yuri Popov, helplessly witnessed his 23-year-old son Vladimir being mauled to death by a tiger shark. Vladimir was swimming in the water, and onlookers were left in shock and despair as the predator attacked him. Yuri shared his account of the incident, describing how the shark attacked in a matter of seconds, leaving him no chance to help his son. The attack happened so fast that no one could offer any help to Vladimir, as he was dragged underwater by the predator. Despite efforts to catch and kill the tiger shark responsible for the tragic event, the pain and sorrow caused by the loss of Vladimir will remain. The incident shocked the local community, as the beach where the attack occurred was generally considered safe and frequented by families and tourists. Videos captured the chilling moments of the attack, with horrified witnesses shouting for Vladimir to swim away from the shark. Unfortunately, he could not escape the predator's grasp, and the shark inflicted fatal injuries on him. The grief-stricken family and friends mourned Vladimir's untimely death, remembering him as a music enthusiast and a wonderful person. Number 1. The Mystery Animal Attack. In February 2019, a 77-year-old high school teacher from North Carolina passed away due to injury sustained in an animal attack. The incident occurred in the small town of Pantego in Beaufort County. Brenda Hamilton, an educator at Pantego Christian Academy, sadly succumbed to her injuries a few days after the attack. Authorities responded to a distressing 911 call at approximately 5:45 a.m. on Indian Run Road in Pantego. When they arrived, they found Hamilton with severe injuries from the animal attack. Despite their efforts, she could not be saved. Hamilton had been an integral part of the school community since 1968, teaching various subjects such as high school English, language, spelling, and literature. She was not just a teacher, but also a loving figure within the PCA family. The animal responsible for the attack remains unknown. Canine DNA has been found on Hamilton's clothing, but it could not be distinguished between wild canines like wolves and domestic dogs. Investigators are now collecting DNA samples from pet dogs in the area for further testing to determine the animal involved in the tragic incident. The loss of Hamilton is deeply felt by her family, friends, and the entire PCA community. Which one of these animal attacks was the deadliest in your eyes? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Bad Badger.